If you're looking out your window and your backyard looks more like a moonscape than a lawn, you're in the right place. We are going to tackle one of the most common and, let's be honest, one of the most frustrating dog behaviors out there: digging.
Oh, it's the classic dilemma, isn't it? You absolutely adore your dog, but the endless craters they're creating are enough to make you pull your hair out. But here's the thing. What if I told you your dog isn't trying to make you mad? In fact, it's something they almost can't help doing.
I love how this slide puts it. Seriously, think of your dog's brain like it's a piece of software. Digging isn't some glitch or a bug that we need to fix. Nope, it's a pre-installed feature. It's baked right into their core programming, passed down from their ancestors who had to dig for everything, to find food, to build a home, even just to stay cool. So what's our first instinct when we see a new hole? It's usually to scold them, right? To point and shout no. But here's the deal, that just doesn't work. Let's dig in, pun intended, to why that reaction almost always backfires. Okay, imagine this. You get home from work, you see a fresh hole in the yard, and you call your dog over and start yelling. To you, it's cause and effect. But to your dog, whose brain doesn't connect your anger to something they did hours ago, they learn something completely different. And there it is. All they learn is that for some reason, when you get home, you're scary and unpredictable. It creates anxiety. Your dog doesn't think, oh, I shouldn't dig. They just think my human's arrival is a really stressful event. And guess what? That anxiety can actually make behaviors like digging even worse. This is so important. We have to stop punishing the act and start understanding the reason. All right, so to find the right solution, you've got to put on your detective hat, because most digging, it really falls into one of four main categories. And once you figure out which type of digger you're living with, the path to fixing it gets so much clearer. First up, and this is by far the most common one, we have the bored digger. This dog has a fantastic brain and a ton of energy, but they've got nothing to do with it. So what do? They invent their own job. And digging is a great one. It's physical, it's mentally stimulating, and for them, it's just plain fun. So does any of this sound familiar? Maybe your dog is left alone in the yard for hours. Maybe their yard is kind of empty, not a lot of toys. Or maybe you've got a teenager on your hands, a dog under 3, or a breed that was literally made to dig, like a terrier. If you've got a high-energy working breed, you've probably got a bored digger. All right, next up is the comfort seeker. Now, this dog isn't looking for a good time. They're looking for survival. It's pretty brilliant, actually. On a hot summer day, the soil just a few inches below the surface is way, way cooler. Digging is their own natural, built-in air conditioning system. The clues for this one are usually pretty obvious once you start looking. Does the digging only really happen on hot days? Are the holes usually right next to the house or under a shady tree? And here's the big one. Do you actually see your dog lying in the holes they dig? If so, they're not being bad. They're just trying to get comfortable. Our third profile is the hunter. This dog is running on pure instinct, one of the most powerful instincts they have, which is prey drive. They can hear and smell little critters like moles or gophers tunneling under the ground, and every single fiber of their being is screaming at them, go get it. You can usually spot this one pretty easily. Unlike the random craters of a bored dog, a hunter's digging is super focused. It might be right at the roots of a tree where a chipmunk lives, or it might even follow the path of a mole tunnel. It's pure, methodical, predatory behavior. And finally, we've got the escape artist. Now, for this dog, digging isn't about what's in the yard. It's all about what's outside of it. The motivation could be anything from fear, like trying to run away from a thunderstorm, to a really intense desire to get to something, like the dog next door. The location is the dead giveaway here. The digging is almost always right along the fence line, an attempt to get under it. This is without a doubt the most urgent type of digging we need to solve, because it's a huge safety issue. Okay, so you've played detective and you've figured out what kind of digger you have. Awesome. So, now what? Well, now we get to open up the solution toolbox and get to work. For our bored digger, the answer is one word: enrichment. This means more walks, at least 2 a day, to burn off that physical energy. It means using puzzle toys to make them use their brain. Short, fun little training sessions every day work wonders too. And here's a pro tip. Rotate their toys. A toy they haven't seen in a week feels like a brand new, super exciting thing. A tired dog is a happy dog, and a happy dog doesn't need to dig for fun. Now, while you're working on that enrichment, management is also key. You can make certain spots just less fun to dig in. Burying some chicken wire just under the soil along a fence line can really discourage an escape artist. Oh, and make sure you roll any sharp edges away from where they'll dig. A lot of dogs also hate the smell of citrus, so tossing some orange peels in your flower bed can be a really simple, safe deterrent. You can even just place some big, flat rocks in their favorite spots.
Okay, so management is good, but you know what's even better? Redirection. Instead of constantly fighting that powerful natural instinct to dig, what if we just leaned into it? This brings us to my absolute favorite solution of all.
Seriously, this is a total game changer. You're not trying to stop a natural behavior anymore. You're just teaching your dog the right time and the right place to do it. You're going to channel all that digging energy into one approved spot. And here's how you do it. It's so simple. You just create a special digging zone. You can use landscape timbers or even a cheap kiddie pool. Fill it up with some loose soil or sand, and here's the secret sauce. You bury treasure in it. Hide their favorite toys, some really yummy treats. Then, when you see them digging somewhere else, don't yell, just calmly lead them over to their pit. And when they dig there, you throw a party. Make a huge deal out of it. They'll learn pretty fast that their sandbox is way more rewarding than your rose bushes. When you put all this together, what you get is a total transformation. Not just in your yard, but in your relationship with your dog. It's a huge shift from constant frustration to real communication. I mean, just look at this difference. You go from this constant, exhausting battle over holes in the ground to having a happy dog that has a healthy way to be a dog. You go from fighting against your dog's instincts to working with their nature. It creates a space that's harmonious for everyone. And really, that's the biggest takeaway here. This whole thing isn't just about stopping digging. It's about learning to see the world from your dog's point of view, to understand their needs, and to meet them. And once you start applying that principle to everything, it just opens up a whole new world of partnership and communication with your best friend.